Join Joe, John, and Jim as they discuss the biggest stories in the world of sports.
You put them all together, it makes a nice package, right?
Get ready
for passionate and intelligent conversation about the biggest issues and personalities in sports.
It's unscripted.
Somehow got mono. God knows who he was making out with.
Some people call him dirty. I like to call him creative.
It's unfiltered.
I'm going to need another beer soon.
And I said, well, hold, you're making my point, right? My thoughts are I'm going to call my therapist after the show is what I'm going to do.
All right, what's up, Bean Apple fans? We are back with you day before big football after Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving, is safe, healthy, isn't running rampant with COVID, that bastard COVID. And we are here to talk about some football upcoming. So we're going to dive into the Jets and Miami, round 2 coming at you. Fitzmagic, going to look for a little more of that magic pixie dust hiding out in that beard. God knows it's still there. Sam Darnold's back. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to take your questions. And I am going to take huge amounts of shit from John and Jim throughout the show. So with that, good afternoon, guys. How you doing?
Good afternoon.
How was Thanksgiving?
Good. Fattening.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Some lasagna, some turkey.
Nice.
Beautiful. Well,
How'd you make the turkey?
how did I make it? I watched my wife do it. What do you mean? How did I make it? My wife seasoned it up and had it in the oven, and lasagna prior to that, and then leftovers the following day. Beautiful.
You got to.
Nice.
Did you bake yours, John?
I did. I baked mine because I'm a stuffing guy, man. I'm a stuffing guy inside the turkey. I'm reading all this stuff not to do it because it's unsafe, but yet they've been doing it since probably we were hanging out with the Pilgrims and the Indians, and I was there. Yep. Trust me, I was there. Yep. And for whatever reason, stuffing was always stuffed in the turkey, and now it's unsafe. So I still do it. I didn't deep fry it. I didn't smoke it yet. I think I'm going to attempt a smoked turkey in the off season to see how it comes out and try and perfect it.
Okay.
Why? What did Joe? You deep fried it? What did you do?
So I did one of each for our small gathering of 4 people. But so I ended up buying a turkey, and then my wife got one at work for free that she came home with. So I threw one on the smoker. I brined it up overnight. Threw that on the smoker for about 6 hours. It came out beautiful, just beautiful. And then I have like it's not an oil fryer, but it's an air fryer, like the big air fryer one. So I did that with the other one. You can't go wrong with it. Melted some butter, put some of that Cajun seasoning in there,
Nice.
Injected it up, dropped it in there about, what is it? I think it's about 10 minutes a pound in the air fryer. So cooks up real quick, just ridiculously good. So
nice.
I didn't know they had air fryers that big. We have a smaller one for the countertop. I didn't know they had one to hold the turkey.
Yep. Yeah, it's called the Big Easy. If you want to, you could look it up. It's less than $100, but it's really the only thing I use it for. But it's awesome all around. You can fry just about anything in it. It's got like a grill top that you can grill some food on it. You can do ribs, wings, turkeys are perfect. Anything. It's a giant thing. So
maybe it'll be a sponsor now.
Yeah. So I think it's
who makes it?
Masterbuilt,
Black and Decker.
No, but yeah, definitely look it up. It's worth it.
Yeah,
if nothing else for Thanksgiving, because then you don't have to deal with any oil afterwards. It's you just pull it out, wash it, put it away, done. So, and you don't spend $100 in peanut oil, which is awesome. Anyway, so let's talk about something a little more depressing than New York Jets this year, huh? You can't get me if I get myself. So,
Don't worry.
Yeah.
So
Sam, the big news, right? Sam Darnold is back after his hiatus for a few weeks, off doing whatever, complaining about his AC joint that Kyler Murray is just going to play as we'll talk about here shortly, against the Patriots with the same exact injury, isn't going to miss any time at all. But Sam's back finally. So a little more audition for trade value coming into the offseason for him. Going up against the Dolphins, they're 7-point underdogs. It's looking like Fitzpatrick. I haven't seen Tua ruled out yet, but I see he's doubtful. It's looking like Fitzmagic is going to come right back in again and just start slinging the ball like he did last time. But this time he'll get to play the whole game if Tua's out. He's not going to get pulled at all. So good for him. I guess it's a good thing that they kept him around so that way they've got a backup plan for Tua. But we'll see. Sam gets his full array of wide receivers back, like we talked about in the recap show. Chris Herndon remembered how to catch a football, so that's also
finally.
Yep, he is still a football player and doing his thing. So you've got Mims, you've got Perriman, and you got Jamison Crowder on the field with Sam Darnold together for the first time this season. It only took 11 weeks, but it's all together. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see what that is going to look like now going for the future. Is this a receiving core that you're going to want to retain? A lot of questions, I think, going into this for the Jets is, what do you do with Rashad Perriman? He's on a 1-year deal. Is this somebody you're going to want to keep? He's looked really good the last couple weeks with Flacco. He's looked terrible with Sam when he was in. So that's something that I'm very curious to see as a Jets fan. Is this somebody we're going to keep, or are we going to draft another wide receiver next year to pair up with Mims and Crowder? So I'm very intrigued on that front. The defense is going to get shredded, like we were talking about beforehand. Still starting a lot of rookies, undrafted rookies, late round picks, a lot of guys out there that are struggling. The offensive line, the rebuilt offensive line is hurt across the board. I think Becton's the only healthy one right now, which is, of course he is, right? When he's hurt, everybody else is okay. Now everybody else is hurt. So both guards are hurt, right tackle's hurt. And it's bad all across the board. I think one of the backup linemen are also injured. So I think he's going to play, but injured. So offensive line is going to be bad, just bad.
But that's where you got to focus in the draft after the quarterback, I guess, if you go in that route. But like you said, I mean, I wouldn't be targeting another receiver. I think you have some guys that can play receiver, but you have no chance to throw to them because the line's shot. And then in the defense, that's where you really got to focus. But, we'll see what they do.
Yeah.
It's going to I think you should take a lineman with the first pick.
Of course.
So think about this logic real quick, though. Grab a lineman now because they're not going to win much next year anyway. So they'll just draft a quarterback the year after.
No.
God, I hope they do that. I don't think they will, but man, I'd love it.
No. It's got to be.
They will do that if they think Darnold is the future.
Yeah, if Darnold comes out and
if Darnold's the future, games, right? If he finishes the year out with a couple of wins and he shows maybe he's got something. So the question really is, what does Darnold want, do you think? Do you think Darnold wants to stay on this team, or do you think he wants to audition to get out?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's kind of asked that. I mean, obviously, I think anybody and their mother would say, "Give me the ticket, I'm leaving."
But then, like we talked about before, you're playing in New York. You're playing in the most marketable city in the country. So
but is he marketable? I don't see him on any commercial. I don't see him on. I don't even, except for this show, I don't even know he's the quarterback. I mean, he's never on anything. I don't think any. I'd like to see who. I'm going to have to look up who even has him as a sponsor.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got any.
I don't think he doesn't. And for that matter, I don't see Jones on anything either. So maybe it's just the year of COVID that they're not doing it, but I don't see either one on anything. Advertising on billboards, nothing.
Yeah, that is a good point. He's a very quiet quarterback. He's not out there doing a lot of things. Off season, he's back in California. He's training with Jordan Palmer, which as great of a quarterback as he was, that's who I want training me. But, those who can't do teach, right? So, that's a great question. But I think, if you have a starting quarterback job, you don't want to give it up, right? There's nothing guaranteed. So, if he could play out and win. And if the Jets end up with a third pick, you're absolutely right. You're taking an offensive lineman because it's the kid out of Oregon is by far, I can't remember his name, but he is by far the top offensive lineman coming out. And if you miss out on Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, and that basically says you're sticking with Sam for another year,
right?
You've got to take another offensive tackle if that's the case. But if you end up, for that to happen, the Jets have to win 3 games, right? Because that's even if they win 2 games. Well, I guess,
but even if they end up with the first pick, if Joe Douglas thinks Darnold is the future, they're not going to take a quarterback.
No, God, I love it. I love this. Look at Joe right now. Jim, look at him.
You see the
oh the man, little bit he's starting to freak out a little bit.
Little beads of sweat
out a little bit.
Yeah. No, and if that's the case, then you're trading out, and like we've talked about before, you're getting you would get an absolute king's ransom for that number 1 pick. So
of course you would.
That's the gamble with anything, right?
Trade it to New England. Trevor Lawrence in New England wins 7 Super Bowls.
No,
Belichick is 90.
Do you think Bill Belichick would give up all of those draft picks to the Jets, though?
Absolutely not.
As much as he hates them? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to do that.
No.
But yeah, I mean, you think about, and we've talked about this lightly before, is what the Redskins back in the day got or gave up for the RG3 to move up for RG3. I mean, it was massive. What was 3 first-round picks, a couple seconds? I mean, it was just a huge haul to move up to get RG3. He's nowhere in the realm of Trevor Lawrence in prospect-wise. I mean, RG3 was great at Baylor. I mean, just awesome. He came out, he was good until he got hurt in the playoffs, and then that was the end of that. But Trevor Lawrence, like they talk about, even right now, he's like they're already saying he's found like a top 10 quarterback for the future in the league, right behind Patrick Mahomes. That's how highly he's regarded. Whether he is that or not, the way he's regarded would get you probably the next 5 first-round draft picks.
Yeah, but that's exactly how RG3 was looked at, though, at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, he truly was. That's why they they said the same thing about Jamarcus Russell. Oh my God, this is a can't miss from LSU.
Yeah, because he could throw 60 yards from his butt.
Yeah, from one knee. So,
but that's how you evaluate quarterback, right? How
of course,
can you throw the ball 60 yards?
Yeah, I mean, it's like this every year. You know what I mean? The top tier quarterbacks, they're going to gain a haul. Whether it be RG3, Joe Burrow last year. I mean, look at Burrow. Prior to hurting his knee, it was great. Not great, but I mean, playing really good for a rookie with no time.
Right.
So now we're talking about
compare him to what Andy Dalton did on that team last year, and Joe Burrow looks like a superhuman.
Like a super, I mean, great arm, but he threw the ball 65 times a game, and that's what caught him hurt. And we'll talk about that here in a few minutes. But it's funny. I was looking at a mock draft already, and not that the teams are even close, but the first 10 picks or so, they had, of course, the Jets taking Lawrence. And they had your guys, Jim. Your guys taking the quarterback from was it North Dakota State? Trey, whatever his name is.
Trey Lance.
Why?
Yes, because they're going to give up on Danny Dimes. So it's like,
turmoil
in the Giants locker room. We'll find out this weekend against Cincy.
It's fake news you're reading.
No way. It's on the internet. It's true.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I don't think they're going to do that, but yeah.
I hope they do, because they'll make these shows so much more fun in the offseason.
Yeah.
It would. Yep. And it's the other thing with the Jets, that's even more disappointing. And everybody, for some reason, it seems like people really believe the Jets are going to get their first win this week. I don't know if they're just trying to make noise, but I keep seeing, Jets are going to get their first win, shooting for their first win, upset Dolphin. Offensive line is decimated. LaMichael P. Ryan is done for the year. So now Frank Gore is your clear lead back with Ty Johnson, who they picked up off the Lions practice squad that they cut as your backup. That's not great in itself. So Sam hasn't looked good this year. He's got no offensive line. He's got his 3 receivers, but like you said, Jim, how much time is he going to have to throw the ball? And you're going up against Miami's defense, who for some reason people forgot has been really good. Like, yes, they lost last week because Tua played terribly. But that defense has been one of the best in football this year. So I don't know, 7 points for the Dolphins against a Jet with a defense that's top 3 in the NFL right now, against an offensive line that is pieced together with duct tape, some chewing gum, and some wax string, basically.
I mean, how many times is Darnold going to get hit before he's out?
I would be surprised if he makes it through the game.
I feel the same way. Even if it's not due to injury, do they just pull him out to protect him?
Yeah.
I mean, because I see the same thing. I think he's going to get banged around back there, and he's going to want to play, I think. But I think at some point, if the game's out of hand and he's just having to pass, you can't just keep handing off to Gore. You're not even play actioning off Gore. So what are you doing? Right? Are you going to try and drop back and shotgun every play and run for your life? No, I think the second half, maybe Flacco comes back in and they say, all right, we got him some reps with the first team on in the game. But I don't see any chance. I've been hearing that too. They're all talking about it in New York here. Oh, the Jets, this could be their first win. Upset the Dolphins. I mean, what are you talking about?
Right.
I mean, it's again, hope is one thing, but come on.
Yeah, you have a better chance of upset. We had a better chance of upsetting the Chargers last week than we do the Dolphins. And you saw how that game went. It was over from the 5 minutes into the game. It was basically done. So I don't know. This makes no sense to me on the fact that you've let Sam sit out for the last couple weeks to heal up his shoulder. I know he's not 100%, right? I mean, I think everybody knows, but he's good enough to play. But now you're going to put him back in against an elite defense with a good pass rush, again with an offensive line that is at its worst state this season. And you're going to put him back in there to take an absolute beating, get knocked out again, and then miss the rest of the year. Right. And now your trade value drops even further. So why would you put him in at this point when your offensive line is non-existent? He's already hurt. He's been hurt twice on the same shoulder's been hurt twice. He takes a hit, he goes down. He can't get any protection.
I mean, unless if upper management's thinking, let's get him in there, let's see what he can do. He's healthy. We got to make a decision on the future. But how do you really gauge him with the line the way it is? Because he's not going to be effective, I don't think, back there. He's not going to have time. And it's like you said, it is against the top-notch defense. And to me, it's not the time to do it. I get you paying him, you want him playing, you don't want to have Flacco in there, and you do want to win. I think the Jets want to get a win. I don't think they want to go undefeated, right? They want to get a win, but at what expense, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is what 0-10 teams do. They make bad decisions. They've been making bad decisions all year. They're going to bring Darnold back against, like you said, Joe, a team whose defense plays really good against good teams. They're going to play, out of their socks tomorrow against the Jets. They're going to prey on Darnold with no offensive line. I mean, he's not going to have time to throw. In fact, my fantasy livelihood is resting on Fitzmagic, Parker, and Miami's defense tomorrow.
There you go.
Because I got
winner.
Yes, I got 36 points Thursday night from Antonio Gibson. He killed it.
Yeah, he
Unfortunately, did. I'm going up against Watson, who had 44 in Washington's defense. That bullshit touchdown at the end. Friggin' gave my brother like 17, 19 points. So but I'm hoping Miami does the same thing. I mean, if I see a pick six, I wouldn't be shocked. 5 sacks, I wouldn't be shocked.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm counting on 20 plus this week for Miami's D.
It's crazy that you had Gibson 20 for 115 with 3 touchdowns against Zeke, who had he was 10 for 32 and lost a fumble. I mean, just horrendous.
Zeke is going to be something interesting going into next year. I mean, the consensus top 3 running back in the draft, probably the last 2 years, definitely this year, and he is terrible.
He needs a new home.
He's fumbling like crazy. Yep.
He needs a new home.
Oh man, and you can't move him, not for the amount of money they owe him.
No.
$90 million contract for a running back. They couldn't move Le'Veon Bell, and I'd say they're almost playing on equal levels at this point. It is really bad, and he's owed 30 million more, 40 almost like 36 million more than Le'Veon Bell was taken. So he's not going anywhere. Cowboys doing Cowboys things, overpaying everybody, and now it's hurting them. But Zeke, what a disappointment!
The game was terrible. I mean, oh my God, 41 points on again. Dallas just cannot stop anybody. I mean, it's incredible. No. 41 points on Thanksgiving. I mean, can we get them off of Thanksgiving? I talked about this earlier in the season, and I know this isn't a Dallas Cow. Is this a Cowboy recap? No. But man, this Thanksgiving with Detroit and Dallas every year, come on. I mean, how did they get locked in? I don't understand how
enough of traditions.
I mean, can we rotate a little bit? Can we flex some games in? Can we do something?
Right. I'm all for tradition, but at some point you just got to say, like, hey, we'll talk about this when you can be competitive again. I mean, you talk both sides. The Lions just cleaned house today.
Yeah, they sure did. Patricia's gone.
Kick Patricia out of there. That run is finally over. John, one of our friends back in the day, big Lions fan. I was talking to him, and he's over the moon that Patricia is out. But every week I catch some Lions games on the Red Zone and stuff, and I don't know how much it is Patricia as it is Matthew Stafford, because he makes some of the worst throws and worst decisions for a veteran quarterback that I see in football. I mean, just and one of those interceptions that he threw, he just lobbed it right to the guy. Like, what? How did you not see him there? Like, I can't. You've been playing. How long's he been in the league? 12 years, probably something like that. I saw he just
terrible though.
He just passed Joe Montana as well. Did you see that on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's great.
He passed him for touchdowns.
I didn't even want to mention that.
Stafford and Flacco moving up the ladder.
Yeah, poor Joe. He's sitting there like, what else could happen in 2020? Like, I just got upstaged by Joe Flacco and Matthew Stafford.
Great.
The franchise though is garbage though. I mean, Detroit's always terrible. They had Schwartz, who wasn't a bad coach. They had Caldwell, who actually had a winning record, and he got fired because I want to say they lost in the playoffs. So now they lose good players, and all they do is replace them with maybe good players. Like I texted earlier, they made the trade with Philly for that cornerback, and then they draft the kid out of Ohio State. Was he out of Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
So all they do is replace players. You know what I mean? They don't build off the talent that they have there. Yeah, Swift is there. I think you got to gut that team. I think the Ford should sell that team. They should be required to sell that team because they're terrible owners. Sell it to somebody maybe, I don't know, that cares about football. I mean, they can't care about football. They can't. In fact, very passionate Lions fan texted me one day and said they bought it for a tax write-off. Now, I don't know how true that is. It was probably on the web. It wouldn't surprise me because they're awful owners. Who comes out at the beginning of the season and says, I'm firing everybody if we don't make the playoffs? I mean, really? That's how you pump your team up?
All right.
No, hey, let's go. Let's go, you guys. Tell me what you mean. No, I'm gonna can your ass. And I mean, I'm a Patricia guy. I like him, but I mean, he walked into a shitty job. He should have known better.
He did.
I do remember 2 out of 3 of us being high on the Lions in the preseason.
I was very.
And I don't think I was one of them.
No, you weren't. I wasn't as high as Joe.
No.
Yeah, you guys are playoffs and what? No way. I tell you what, we got to go back and watch it. We got to bring that back up and see where we stand.
You look at the talent on that team, though, and they should have been much better than they are. I mean, Stafford, but Galladay's been hurt like all year. Now Swift went down.
Yeah.
So he's been out as well. Every time he has an explosive game,
he's out.
He ends up getting hurt. Something happens.
Right.
So that's not good. And Galladay every year he's Babytron. when he's in a game, he's hard. Nobody can cover him, but he can't stay healthy to be in a game. So you lose those guys. It's hard. It's hard for Matthew Stafford to do everything on his own. They've never had a great offensive line. The defense is always so-so, and I thought maybe getting Okudah would be a boost, a younger quarterback in there since Darius Slay was kind of on the decline last couple years, but figured, upgrade an older guy for a young guy and help it out. But, yeah, sometimes you get them wrong. I mean, I don't – so definitely I definitely got it wrong on that one. Green Bay's owned in that division, and John, I think I think both of you guys called that one, but you know what? That's what makes it fun. You gotta take those chances and try to read between the lines. And
somebody also said though, Joe, and we'll transition to this later, that the Giants were going to win 9 games, and that is about impossible right now.
Yeah, not yet. It's not impossible. Maybe improbable.
Right,
maybe implausible. Not improbable. Not impossible.
They
not
still
impossible.
can. They have the opportunity to accomplish what you stated they would.
Yeah, they just gotta win out. That's an easy feat for that team.
As long as they're playing teams in the NFC East, I mean,
any given Sunday.
Oh man. Oh, all right. So we got a question. Let's switch over here.
I think this guy's from the Houston Astros. Isn't he? This Carlos Correa?
Yeah.
So I don't think the Jets have to tank anything to keep it. All they got to do is keep playing the way they do it. Week in and week out. Keep playing the way you're playing. You're going to end up with the number 1 pick. There's zero threat to that.
No.
Zero.
And we've talked about it the last couple weeks, and
we got a question from Alexa there.
Yeah, she was asking if she was telling me, I don't know that. So, I don't know if they're tanking either. I don't think they have to tank because they're just that bad. Like everybody, the Jets are tanking. The Jets aren't tanking. They just don't have enough talent to be competitive.
They're not good.
Yeah,
right.
It's not called tanking. It's called not being competitive. So I think they'll continue on this path. They'll try to win games, but it's not going to happen this week. And outside of the Patriots, the last week of the year.
Whoa, man! Whoa!
I don't know where it's gonna. Well, you said, I think Bill Belichick hates the Jets enough to let that game go and
I did too.
Screw the pooch.
I did too. Bobby Hoyer's starting. That's right.
That's my big.
I'd almost be okay with that.
That's my big. But so the remaining Jets schedules: Dolphins, Raiders, Seahawks, Rams, Browns, Patriots. So there's not a win in the next 4 weeks.
No.
Maybe the Browns pull a Browns and they choke. I don't,
unless somebody's looking past the Jets and stumbles.
No,
and plays down to their opponent.
So if the Jets are 0-14 and you're playing them, are you looking down to them? I don't think so. I don't think there's any team that's going to be like,
no, not looking down, playing down, looking past,
right? No, yeah. If you have an 0-14 team coming in, you're not. I mean, you are laser focused on not being the team that gives that up.
Hopefully.
So, I don't see that happening. So,
what's up, Giant Zone?
Giant Zone, what's up, bud? Thanks for
welcome back.
Thanks for joining. We're on the Jets right now. We'll be getting on the Giants here in a little bit, but
don't worry, we'll be talking about the other shitty New York team.
Hey, easy.
Yes.
I mean,
what are you talking about? We're talking about the Bills.
Granted, they are the only team of ours that still have a playoff.
That's right.
goal.
That's right.
Yeah, with the same record as you, I think.
I think we have a better record.
Is it? You guys have 4, right?
Yeah, same.
Can you imagine the odds?
No, the Giants have 3. Giants have 3. So we do have a better record. In fact, we'd be in first.
You would be leading the NFC.
Man, we could go to a Super Bowl.
That's right. You could.
Oh my God.
Let's slow your roll about making the playoffs there, Giant Zone.
He knows what's up.
You have 3 wins.
Right.
Okay. You shouldn't even be thinking of playoffs after 10 games.
What were the odds in the preseason of Washington being in first in this late in the season?
I don't know.
I mean,
that's something I'm looking forward when we get to the Giant side to talk about is Washington looks good.
Alex Smith. I mean,
They
and who do they really have? Who do they really have?
Gibson,
running
baby.
back they're throwing to, right?
They got
Antonio, boy, he's a beast right now.
and they've got
McLaurin,
Terry F1 McLaurin.
Scary
that
Terry.
dude, God damn, he's fast, huh?
But hey, guess what? The Giants beat the Washington football team twice this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we'll.
So let's get back to the Jets.
Please, let's finish.
Yeah, so let's round this out. So
none of our spectators want to talk about the Jets except for maybe Carlos. Carlos, what else you got for us, buddy?
Well, he's a Jersey guy, Jim, from Jersey City.
Oh, nice. He's right here.
Yeah. So, well, he's out here on my side, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's a Jersey City kid. So,
Nice.
So anyway, to finish this out, Jets are 7-point underdogs, like we talked about. 44.5 over under. So I think they're shooting kind of low. I think the Dolphins will probably put 30 up on their own.
But you don't think they win by more than 10 or at least 10 easy? Come on.
I don't see the Jets scoring.
No.
At all?
I mean, unless Miami puts up 44, they won 24-0 last time. So I think over under, you go under. I don't see the Jets scoring more than 3.
It could be like 30 to 10.
I don't even think it's going to be that. I think Darnold's now, is Flacco hurt or is he just benched for Sam?
No,
he's just benched.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe 10 if Flacco comes in some mop duty.
So John, this question was for you.
Wait a minute. This guy is from Jersey City. He could see MetLife from his house. And he's a Pats fan?
No.
How's that possible? He said, yeah, but a Pats fan. What do you mean, no?
I think he's talking about John.
To say, but as a Pats fan. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say. Wow, okay.
What I think they're going to do, they're going to take a quarterback first. I may take Shields from Ohio State. I don't think they will because Trevor Lawrence has been hyped for so long. He is very proven. I like Fields personally because of how he's similar to other great quarterbacks in the NFL right now. I don't see him trading much because they do have some good picks. I mean, they get Seattle's pick this year, right?
Yep.
They have their own pick in the first round. So 2 in the top, 28, unless Seattle wins the Super Bowl, which I don't see him coming out of the NFC. But, you're a Pats fan.
Wait,
Carlos, thank you, buddy.
How do I boot somebody out of the chat?
You know what? You're my new best friend on this show right now.
I'm going to have to hear one of these days how that happened. Jersey City guy takes New England.
You're a smart man. You're a smart man, Carlos. No, but
this is disappointment.
That's what I think the Jets are going to do because they have to do it. I'm with Joe where put the quarterback in play, maybe hopefully sign some talent. They're going to have tons of cap money next year, so you might as well. But honestly, you need to get rid of the coach. You need to get rid of the GM and start over. Have the coach and GM on the same page like they did in Arizona because look at that blueprint. Look at that blueprint of what they did in Arizona and San Francisco until everybody got hurt. If you look at San Fran, John Lynch and Shanahan, what they put together was pretty damn good down there up until everyone started getting injured. So I'm telling you, there's blueprints to go by for the Jets. They just have to do it. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they go with one of those hybrid, run and shoot, old school run and shoot coaches.
Yeah.
It seems to work.
So Adam Gase is definitely gone.
Yep.
But Joe Douglas isn't going anywhere because they just signed him last year to a 6-year contract. So
eat the money.
And the idea was to give him the time to do a rebuild. Like that was kind of like, I need time to fix this. Give me time. But I liked an article I read, or I think it was a show from a show that Anthony Beck, the former tight end for the Jets, does online. And he brought up a really interesting fact. And I can't think of the guy's name, but the offensive coordinator for Auburn, hire him as your coach because he already knows Trevor Lawrence. If you have the first pick, if you've got the first pick
for Auburn or Clemson,
Clemson, excuse me.
Okay.
You bring in Clemson's offensive coordinator. I don't know his name. I don't remember his name, but he already knows Trevor Lawrence, right? So he could put together a perfect scheme for him, a perfect fit. 1-2 here. He knows what works. He knows the strengths. He knows everything. So you bring this guy in as your head coach, pair him up immediately with his quarterback that he already knows. And I've seen a lot of mocks where the Jets are also taking in the second round Travis Etienne, the running back for Clemson as well.
Really?
So if you, with the first pick in the second,
if he lasts that long,
but
because he was a Heisman hopeful at the beginning of the season. So
yeah, if he makes it, I think the big thing with him is he's got a lot of miles on him. Right. So that's kind of the deterrent with him. But if you compare the three of them up, I mean, that's kind of something to be interested in. It was a very interesting take I hadn't thought about, but I kind of like it. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about him, but the idea behind it is really smart because you're not rebuilding. Trevor Lawrence isn't coming in and having to learn a new offense. You're just implementing a lot of the stuff that he already knows and kind of building a little complexity behind an NFL, into the NFL.
Right.
But you base it all off of everything that he already knows. That gives him the best chance to succeed and a major step forward as he's getting acclimated to the NFL is he doesn't have to worry about all that stuff. It's okay. I already know this stuff. Let's run and gun. Let's fire away. And then you potentially end up with an Arizona situation with Kyler Murray there, where it's just go, just forget it and go. So
he coached Mahomes, right? Because Cliff Kingsbury was at A&M before Arizona, so he was coaching Mahomes.
Right,
went to Arizona and then took a quarterback very similar to Mahomes. I won't say as good because no one is, but very similar to Mahomes' style, and then just walked right into a perfect situation there. And that's why it was so easy to get rid of who was the kid they drafted or traded for, right? No, did they draft him?
They drafted him 10th. It was
my God. Then they traded him to Miami for a second-round pick.
Yeah, what's his name?
Jamarcus Russell Jr. We'll just call him that.
Might as well. How did I just go blank?
He's out of the NFL.
No, I think he's a backup for the Eagles.
So he's third string behind Hurts.
Josh Rosen. That's his
Josh Rosen.
God.
There you go.
He could have been named Mike Smith. It doesn't matter. You're never going to hear his name again.
No, but yeah, that's a perfect example because they drafted him 10th overall the year before.
Yeah.
And then said, the hell with it. We got the first pick. We're taking Kyler Murray and we're done with it. So, they gave up on him after just 1 year, which is.
That's why I think whoever the Jets hire is going to kind of dictate who they're going to take for a quarterback, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Or it should. If you take that guy out of where's he at? Oklahoma. What's his name? I can't remember his name. But anyways, the coach for Oklahoma. I was just talking about this guy the other day. You put him on there, you may want to draft Shields because that's the type of quarterback that you're going to need to run that type of offense. So, but I mean, if you hire Clemson's offensive coordinator or a head coach, and for sure you're taking Trevor Lawrence. But boy, if that goes sour.
Yeah. But also, if you want Trevor Lawrence,
you're going to take the guy who recruited him in college. Absolutely.
And you hire him before the draft and you say, all right, you're our new coach. Okay, I'm coming out. The Jets call up Trevor Lawrence, be like, hey, we're hiring your offensive coordinator as the next coach. And, we're very interested in taking you because I don't think you could say, I don't know how the rules are stipulated. Well, I guess if you have the number 1 pick in the draft, you could say whatever the hell you want, right? Because you're not tampering with anything. It's your pick. So you can come out and be like, look, we want you number 1. We're hiring your coach. We're all in on you and your success. And let's run with this. That's the best plan I think you can have as Jets leadership to make sure 1, he comes out, and 2, he's in a position to succeed. I think that's really the only way you can go to guarantee. You can't guarantee, but to stack the odds in your favor as much as possible for his success and to make sure he doesn't pull a Peyton Manning and go back to school next year and screw you over. So I think it's a very intriguing idea. I just don't know how good of a head coach he could be, but nobody expected Cliff Kingsbury to be this good of a coach. And what he's doing and putting together is great. So you never know what is going to happen. It's just it's interesting.
So not to cut you off, but Debo Sweeney, who's the coach of Clemson, is making $9.3 million a year right now. 9.3.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
Especially with a football factory down there. I mean, I don't know how long his contract is. I'm trying to see when he signed it. 2016. So on April 12th, he signed a 6-year contract extension. So he got a couple more years left. So who knows? Maybe he wants to go to pros. And quite honestly, what team would be better than a team that could draft your quarterback? But boy, you're going to be paying him. You may be paying him $10 million a year if you want him. But really, who gives a shit what you pay a coach?
Who's his quarterback?
Trevor Lawrence. That's who coaches Clemson. Debo Sweeney.
Oh,
Dabo Sweeney. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dabo Sweeney, the head coach for Clemson.
You think he would jump ship and go with Trevor?
I mean, I don't know if he has aspirations to coach in the NFL, but this would be the time.
Yeah, I mean that.
I mean, you could ask for a king's ransom to go coach the Jets. And they have to pay you.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be loaded with Clemson players, so you better hope they turn out good in the NFL. But
that's true.
I mean,
that is true.
Is he going to adapt? Is he going to adapt to losing though? That's the question. Is it really about the money or is it about winning? And how long is it going to take to start winning?
Yeah, I don't know. But
I don't know.
I guess, if you're coaching, a generational type talent, and you have the opportunity to go to the NFL to that team that's going to take him, that's interesting. Right. I mean, and it's a big name that's going to attract. Right. I mean, it's a New York City name that it's going to bring players in because it's going to say I'm not screwing around. So that's not a bad idea either. Really isn't. But
you heard it here first, people. You heard it here first.
Yeah, but
Dabo Sweeney coming to the Jets to draft Trevor Lawrence. And the Jets will still suck, but that's okay.
Are you giving up a $9 million contract in college?
If you can get paid 10, you can get paid 10 in the NFL. Why not? Because it's a guaranteed contract. If they fire you, they still have to pay you.
It is.
Unless he takes another job, then he goes to some other college and takes over a SEC team. Maybe a LSU or somebody when what's his face steps down. But you never know.
Right. Yeah, and with his namesake alone, he could suck with the Jets and still be like Pete Carroll and
absolutely
go to USC and lead them to multiple championships.
Yeah. But when you pay people off, it's easier that way.
It is. But he did pretty good when he.
Thanks, Carlos. Let him know, man.
There you go.
Let Ian know.
Yeah, that's gonna be huge. So. God, I hope you're right. Yep. I hope you're right. So anyway,
I'm a conspiracy theorist guy, so hey, I mean, nothing would shock me this year. It's 2020.
Well, between both of us, and of course, citing the correct source, but the coach of the Jets next year is going to be a Clemson alumni. Basically, is what you're saying. But somebody from yeah, I like it. But all right, so back to the game. Let's close it out. So you guys, who has the Jets winning? Who's anybody?
Take the Miami later points. Take Miami. What are you talking about? Come on.
Jets are going to be swimming with the fishes tomorrow. Swimming with the fishes.
Okay, so I think 0-11 is on the docket.
Guaranteed.
Unfortunately, but we'll keep it going. And like I said, once the Jaguars win their next game, I am all in, 100% for the Jets to get a victory. I'm all for it. Like, please give me that W. Soon as the Jaguars get to 2 wins. Man,
too bad the Jets didn't have the Jags on the schedule. That would be something.
Oh God, that would be scary. Scary. And Jacksonville's tanking as well because they pulled Lutton and
they're not good either though. They're not good either.
Well, they've got Robinson there, who's an outstanding back. But I think they had a chance to win. And who are they starting this week? Mike Glennon. Why? Like,
because he was really good in Tampa. right? Is that where he played? Tampa?
Yeah, when they drafted him. What a joke. Like, I would let Lutton play, but they have a chance to beat the Browns, I think, and they're making sure they don't do that. So we'll see. We got another question. With the amount of cap space and number of picks upcoming, how many years before the Jets make the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
5.
How many fingers do I got?
5.
2.
2
wow,
years.
look at this.
2 years.
Come on, make the playoffs. What are you how?
2 years.
So is
How?
Buffalo going downhill? Is Miami going downhill?
Thank you.
England,
They have a lot of catch up to get to Buffalo and Miami. A lot of catch up to get there. This division is going to be tough in the next couple of years. Very tough. So
2.
5.
2 years. Maybe even next year, because I think they're
God, you sound like Jim now. What, 9 wins next year? They got to go from 0 to 9 wins.
No.
What are they going to sign Tom Brady too?
I think
Antonio Brown.
I think the playoff numbers are number of teams going in is staying high again next year.
They got
So-
Maybe all the teams are in. That's how they make it.
I think so. I think they're going with the NBA style of all but last place. So,
Everyone's in. Like, doesn't hockey do it like that? Everybody's in. Who
Yeah.
cares what your record was? You're in. Okay.
Actually, I'll say 4 years. 4 years from 2024. Would that be right? Yeah, 2024, maybe.
So when was the last time they were in the playoffs?
it's been 10 years.
1973.
73. Joe Namath.
2010. 2010 was their last playoff appearance.
10 years since a playoff appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And you think they're going to be there in 2?
No chance.
If we have Trevor Lawrence leading the charge, I think so.
So are they closer now than they were, 5 years ago?
No, they're
Are they
worse off.
closer now.
I think they're worse now.
That's what I mean.
They're worse. This is
They're-
probably since the last playoff burst, this is probably the worst they've been. Oh, she's giving us an update again.
Thank
The
you, Alexa.
Jets, the next time the Jets will be in a playoff is
2056.
I don't know who's hacking into this thing. But anyway,
is she talking Jets football?
I don't know. I couldn't hear her. She's just making a lot of noise. There's always some kind of noise or distraction going on.
I'll tell you what.
Constantly. So, but no, I think the Jets are in a very good position because they have a lot of money to spend. And that's the thing. They've got high draft picks and they've got a lot of money to rebuild with. So they've made a lot of really bad decisions in the past, especially with some of the signings that they made for big money. What's his name? Cornerback that we signed that was an absolute bust from the Rams. I've already forgot him because that's how important he was. But huge contract that they paid out to him and just terrible. But Adam Gase is a terrible coach too, so he's not getting any development. But yeah, you bring in a new guy. You've got high draft picks, a lot of money. You've got Trevor Lawrence. You've got something there. You've got a lot of positions for the next, at least next year. A lot of draft slots, or not draft slots, playoff slots to squeeze into. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, when Manning came in, he was terrible his first year. Then they were good. When Aikman came in his first year, he was terrible. Then they were good. So, you've got a bit of a learning curve there. But if he is that type of talent, as everybody, all the experts are claiming, why could he not take that leap? A bad year, draft high, develop more talent, spend some money, bring in some key pieces, and then give him the reins and let him go. So 2 years.
It's not going to be on Lawrence. It's going to be on the O-line, kind of like what Carlos just said. As long as they don't get a quarterback with no offensive line, they don't have an O-line. That O-line is bad. They need to work together. They need to be able to gel together. They need to be able to, learn with each other. That's why I just have a feeling that it's going to take, 3-4 years to get all the pieces right.
Well, you just look at the Buffalo, like I said, Buffalo and Miami are both on the upswing. They're way ahead of the Jets,
time too.
and they're both improving. They're both improving. So they're
with
just
young teams.
Yeah, they're both young teams. They're improving their defenses. So what would give you any inclination that the Jets next year or the year after are going to be catch up to them or pass them?
What? Because nothing in the NFL, nothing's guaranteed.
Well, yes.
I mean, if any one of those quarterbacks goes down significantly, what do? Like, is Fitzpatrick going to keep playing? I don't know. If Tua gets hurt and he misses a significant amount,
which he is
right? He's already
Mm-hmm.
hurt. If Allen goes down in Buffalo, who's the backup? Can they win a game without him? I don't think so. So you can't. I mean, obviously he could play. He could play every game for the next 20 years. I don't know, but it's the NFL. It happens all the time. Key players get hurt. Look at all the key players that got hurt this year. I mean, San Francisco was supposed to be a playoff team, if not a division contender to take the NFC West, and they're horrific this year, and they've lost everybody. Like, so it's hard to say. I mean, that could happen to the Jets too. They can go winless again, but if Buffalo loses a couple key pieces, are they good enough? Same with Miami. Miami's young. Are they going to continue to develop, or are things going to come back down? Are they overachieving this year, or are they actually on an upward swing? I don't know, because they weren't good last year. They weren't good the year before that. So did they make a jump, or is it just, is it the Tua hype that they're all pumped up and playing above what they should do? I don't know.
Well, they were winning with Fitzpatrick too, though. I mean,
they were.
Right.
They were winning before he even came in. I think that the days of, you look at what's happened this year with Dak, with Burrow, I think the years of, or the thinking of, mortgage the future for one guy. I think after what they're seeing this year with what's happening, with how many guys are being blown out for the year, I have to they got to think twice about doing that kind of stuff. You can't just gamble everything you got on one guy and like Burrow, and then he's out for the year, and now what do you got? Yeah, I mean, your whole future's mortgaged already.
Carlos,
Absolutely.
I agree, except Indianapolis, what happened in Indy that year? Peyton Manning went to Denver. They had a decent team. They had a pretty damn good team already in place with a very good offensive line. Peyton Manning left. That's when they went through whoever was their quarterback. They drafted Luck. They were bad enough to be one because they had no offense. and then took Luck. So but I mean, I just don't. What's the strongest part of the Jets? Actually, hold on. Tell me something good about the Jets. Is it their defense? No. Is it their offensive line? No. Is it their offense? No.
Who's the kicker? Who's the kicker?
Special teams? No.
Nope, kicker's bad too.
That's what I mean. Everybody sucks on that team.
We have a good punter.
Well, thank God you do. Thank God you do. But I mean,
because you punt 18 times a game. That's
I mean,
they drafted him in like the 5th round, but yeah,
I agree, Carlos. That's why I think it's going to take 4 years, because they're going to have a lot of young.
And you think about, you also get next year's pick from Seattle as well. So
but that's going to be in the mid-20s, which is still good, but it's going to be, you have to assume it's mid-20s.
You're still adding key players, but
of course, yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know. The wide receivers, I love Jamison Crowder. I think he's extremely underrated slot guy. If I've seen the last couple weeks, Denzel Mims has made some awesome plays. The catch last week, I don't know if you guys saw it, but just beautiful catch down the sideline, beat the defender, just somehow was able to pull it in. I don't know how he did it. So he's got a ton of talent. So there's something there. I think you let Perriman go because he's just not consistent enough, and you don't really need 2 speed guys. Like, they need a really clean route running guy, but you got a couple guys there. But yeah, the team does need a lot of work. Like there's deficiencies everywhere. So I'm interested to see with the draft picks, with what we've got with free agency, what we're looking like. That it's hard to evaluate the team right now, but there's
Miami
a lot
by
of
27.
there's a lot of evaluation, I think, that we'll have to have in the offseason and see who they bring in, what the draft brings, what the coach brings, and then go from there. But we'll see. So let's wrap it up, because it's getting long. We still have to do Patriots and Giants. So we'll, for everybody out there watching, we're going to cut this one off. We're going to come back with a different live feed so we can keep separated. So people on YouTube later on don't have to watch teams that they don't care about, like the Giants or the Patriots. understandable. So with that, so we'll keep an eye out. You should be getting an update for another live stream in a minute. We're going to be back and talk Patriots and Arizona next.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there. So we will be right back with some Patriots and Cardinals ass whooping about to be laid down.
Carlos, come back to me, buddy. I'm going to need you.
Yes, he is. All right. So, guys, thank you for coming. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell, set it to all. Make sure you get all of our updates and notifications for whenever we come live, because we definitely love having you guys here. Help us build, help us grow. Love the interaction. So please subscribe. Help us get attention. All right. We will see you guys in a few minutes. Good luck, Jets. Keep going for Trevor. Stay strong.
Lay the points.
Yeah, and take the 7. Make some money. Make some money out of the misery. Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys on the recap side. Later.